Well, we're trying to turn your frown upside down, Giants fans. That's what we're trying to do. Because this was a team that won a playoff game last year. It's not just a playoff team from last year. They won a playoff game. They were part of the Final Four in the National Football Conference last year with the Cowboys, Eagles, and Niners. This was a team that went into Minnesota and won and done to Kirk Cousins because Daniel Jones showed up like Colin Kaepernick in Green Bay. That's how he showed up to Minnesota last year. Didn't miss throws. Didn't miss an opportunity to just punk you down the field with his legs, too. Also helped that, wait a minute, let me look this up. Oh, yeah, Saquon Barkley was on the Giants that day, too. And it's amazing how during this game they showed on the Monday Night Football broadcast, Buck Aikman, the whole crew. Interesting, they showed a graphic about how Saquon is worth 3 points a game and basically about extra 40 to 50 yards per game in terms of when he plays and when he doesn't play. And that's the guy that they held the line on salary. That's the guy that they're basically saying, no. There's a market, and we must pay you market value, and then make sure that you curse on a podcast before you come back, and we'll assault your contract with a $900,000 of incentives that, unfortunately, because he's missed 2 games now, will be very difficult for him to make. And that's why these guys want their money when they want their money, but that was for another day back in the summer and maybe for another day next spring. But this day, on this day, the New York Football Giants look like one of the worst teams in football. And the Seattle Seahawks came in on a Monday night, flying all the way across the country, and essentially held the Dallas Cowboys beer from the first Sunday night of the season. The Giants have played 2 home games, 2 nationally televised home games, and they have lost these games by a combined score of 64-3. The good New York Giants season ticket holders and fans have yet to see a touchdown with their own 2 eyes, unless they flew out to Arizona, maybe to San Francisco before the boat race was on. And that was just an unfair fight, short week, no Saquon. But this Giants team, having a Seahawks team in their house that, the Rams kind of showed what you can do with a defensive scheme. Holding that team to 9 yards in the second half. The Seahawks have won 3 in a row since then. They're 3-1. They look like a playoff team from last year. They look like a playoff team from this year, too. And that defense that the Seahawks brought last night, 248 yards of offense they held the Giants to. The Giants were 6 of 16 on third downs. There was a pick 6 last night. Devin Witherspoon introduced himself to the nation, as certainly with Christian Gonzalez now out for the foreseeable future as the defensive rookie of the year. This kid from Illinois, as he was running to the end zone, 97 yards, you know what I thought to myself? I'm like, that's the guy they got in the Russell Wilson trade. Check that box. They got another stud on the back end of a defense. Reek Woolen, another one from last year. They're building a team. The Prez returned last night, unfortunately got concussed. Jamal Adams expected back after the bye that the Seahawks now sit for Week 5 on at 3-1. Oh, they forced a fumble on Daniel Jones. There were more sacks last night than out of Tom Rinaldi's mouth in that NFL on Fox commercial that runs every 2 seconds these days. Mm-hmm. Sackety sack. They didn't talk back. All of that happened last night to the Giants. 11 sacks, 10 of them on Daniel Jones. 2 turnovers on downs for the Giants, including the first drive. So their first drive against the Cowboys ended with a stalled field goal attempt. They blocked that, the Cowboys. The first drive for the Giants last night ended on a if Philly's running the city of brotherly shove play, because we won't call it the tush push here. Please don't call it that.
Please don't.
What were the Giants doing? I mean, it's a copycat league, and they need to work on it because, as the Mannings talked about on their Manning cast, Peyton's talking about somebody should get the left cheek and someone should get the right cheek of Daniel Jones and shove. And neither of them got hands on their quarterback. They're there to push him, and Daniel Jones got separation from his own lineman trying to push him. That didn't work. I picked up Coop from his travel ball practice last night. I did, my usual Monday gig of studio work on Westwood One Radio. After halftime, got in the car, listened to Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner on the call. Kurt, by the way, a guest of Susie Schuster and Amy Trask on today's What the Football. And Kurt listened to them call that 97-yard pick six just when you thought Daniel Jones and the Giants put together their best drive of the game. It's 14-3, and here come the Giants. After going for it on fourth down, they're going to score, and they're going to score a touchdown and maybe go for two and make it a 3-point game. And even if it's a 5-point game, we have a game. And then I don't know what the hell happened there. Witherspoon jumped a route. Either Jones threw it to the wrong guy or one of his guys didn't run the right route, and that's on him, and it looks like it's on Daniel Jones. Whatever had happened, this kid, Witherspoon, who brings the wood and closes like a demon, snatched that one out of the air and took it the route, 97 yards. So then I get out of the car, and I get ready to pick Coop up. I missed one drive. I missed the next drive before I, turned the game on my phone. Because I'm a professional.
BDE.
And by the way, best dad ever.
BDE.
Right. Well, Sue's took him to practice, so. At any rate, long story short, I look at my phone, and I'm like, what was the drive the Giants just had? And I saw this on my phone. I screen snapped it because I can't believe, I've never seen this before. 9 plays, 2 yards, 4 minutes and 43 seconds. I'm like, this has got to be a typo. All right, I'll bite. What is it? I hit the button, and I look at it. A first down run for no gain on their own 25. A second down 12-yard pass play for 37 yards first down. Play 3, 3-yard pass to the 40. Play 4, 2-yard pass to the 42. Play 5, a tip pass. It's now play 6, 4th down and 5. Daniel Jones, 6 yards, first down at the 48. Okay, we're going here. Next play, a 12-yard scramble called back for a hold. That's play 7. We got to replay it again. So play 7 wound up being a sack, loss of 8 to his own 30 because the holding penalty brought it back to his own 38. So now we're on the 30. Play 8 was a pass of 6 to the 36. Play 9 was a sack, loss of 9 to the 27. Just 2 yards gained from the 25-yard spot that they started the drive in. 9 plays, 2 yards. 4 minutes, 43 seconds. I've never seen anything like it. And this from, again, the guy who the Giants signed. And I know, Brockman, this is exactly what you were talking about when the Giants signed Daniel Jones. Let's put a pin in that for the moment. Because we saw Brian Daboll, the reigning coach of the year, go really right at Daniel Jones after that pick six. And it didn't look pleasant, to be straight up. Didn't look very pleasant. After the game, Coach Daboll was asked about that very exchange.
What were you trying to show Daniel on that interception? The cameras caught you showing the tablet to him.
I was trying to show him, kind of see what he thought, and then kind of tell him what I saw.
But did you were too happy because you kind of tossed the tablet as you walked away? I mean, what was supposed to happen on that route? Was it?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into particulars of it. Just we didn't get the job done.
What did you want him to do on that play?
Yeah. Well, obviously not throw an interception. So.
I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but you can't help but laugh. I mean, yeah. What did you tell him? I told him, just let's not throw picks. Like 6. Daniel Jones after the game. I mean, what else can he say except what he said after the game?
I think we're all frustrated. So, yeah, I know I got to play better, and I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can to do that. And obviously, I didn't play well enough. It was unacceptable, and I let the team down. So I've got to fix it. I got to work hard to get it right, and I'm going to do that.
To be fair, my next guest who's joining us in a few minutes, Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, said after the loss to the Lions that started week 4 about Jordan Love, can't throw from your back. Daniel Jones was sacked 10 times. The 11 sacks they gave up last night because Paris Campbell, I guess, was behind the line of scrimmage in a certain way that he got hit too.
Technically, yeah.
Right. They called it a sack because it was thrown backwards to him. It looked like they were going to go a wide receiver option, and Devin Witherspoon closed from about 20 yards out in a flash.
That dude had a game.
I believe that was a sack. He had his first career sack just straight up on Jones earlier in the game. So that needs to be said completely fair for Daniel Jones. And at least he's fully knowledgeable of the saucepan in which he is currently cooking. Because when he was chosen by the Giants in the draft in Nashville, Tennessee, out of Duke, interestingly enough, he was the 6th overall pick, which made him pick 6 of that draft. He fully heard from Giants fans when he was slow to start, despite his first career start, I believe, in Tampa, and he had a day
Well, great
to
comeback
show
win,
you to show you how he can actually perform. But no greater pressure is placed on a New York athlete than the one that doesn't perform after he has gotten significantly well paid. Just ask Carlos Rodon blowing kisses to Yankee fans, and then in his last start of the year gets pulled in Kansas City. 0 innings pitched, 8 earned. Ed Whitson saying, "Oh, that's bad." That's what happens.
Poor Ed.
He didn't think he'd get caught, right? But that's what happens. That's what's happening right now in New York. And even worse is what lays ahead. Their schedule. Oh, my goodness. They've got to go on the road now, 2 more games, which is great because, since again, they've been outscored 64-3 at home in their first 2. They're at Miami and at Buffalo. Next 2. And then home for Washington, who, as you know, just damn near handed the Eagles their first loss on the road. Home for the Jets. Say what you will. But a Jets team can bring it like the Seattle defense can bring it. They had Mahomes kind of twisted. Almost picked him off 3 times, if not for, I don't want to go there. But see what I'm saying? It ain't pretty. And I just got to wonder to myself, as you're sitting here, and the Giants are staring at a 1-6, maybe 1-7 start directly in the face. And I hate to say it because these are prideful men who play National Football League games. They do not want this to happen. Nationally televised, like the game against the Bills is going to be, by the way, on a Sunday night. Oh, my goodness. In Western New York, where the Bills just laid it on the Dolphins. And in terms of the Commanders, you saw what the Bills did to the Commanders. What are they going to do to this team that can't protect Daniel Jones? I couldn't help but think, as the Giants are beginning to sink in 2023, that somewhere in Los Angeles, California, Caleb Williams is pointing at the screen like Rick Dalton. There it is. There it is. Kid who clearly doesn't want to be drafted first overall by certain teams. Hey, Caleb, you want to go to the town where people like Justin Tuck sell sandwiches for 10 years off of that career? Where Victor Cruz is still selling salsa? You all saw where Stray got his start in becoming the Dick Clark of his generation. Phil Simms has a gig in 2023. He played in the Super Bowl when Reagan was in the White House.
The actor?
Dude.
Back to the Future line.
Do you think Caleb Williams would like to play quarterback for the New York Football Giants? Because whatever they gave Daniel Jones and whatever might be a cap problem for them, if they wind up with the worst record in the NFL and a team that played last night, I know we're marathoning, we're not sprinting. All I'm thinking is what a match that would be. Hurts versus Williams, Dak versus Williams, twice a year. Giants go to battle that way. Because this stuff with Daniel Jones, giving it a whirl, giving it a try, 4 games in, despite the win in the playoffs last year, that's how quick things can turn. A New York minute, this appears to have turned. Darren Waller, that ploy, that plan, we're gonna be successful. He's turned into the Allen Robinson of tight ends for the Giants. Where's Jalen Hyatt up top? Why don't we just try to take the top off? I don't know. This may be easy fan type, non-looking at the film things to say. But I'm trying to go all in here to start this program on what I saw last night. And the Dolphins are next. I mean, Bradley Chubb must have been watching that game last night and doing the Rick Dalton gif too. and then the Bills? Does that sound like a 1-5 to you? Von Miller has been having his practice window opened up. Looks like I'm seeing him in London this weekend against the Jaguars. Hey, I think I've made my point. I don't know what the hell happened to the Giants. They have fallen. They cannot get up. Daniel Jones looks lost. Saquon Barkley, this is exactly another reason why he deserved to be paid. This team is lost without him. Nobody's scaring you. The defense just got beaten by Geno Smith, Andrew Luck. I mean, Noah Fant tiptoeing down the sideline. Can somebody shove him out of bounds? I don't know what the hell happened last night. And they're going to be on national TV again in 2 weeks against the Bills, who are rampaging. Look out. And Caleb Williams sitting here in Southern California looking at the Bears, looking at some other teams going on. He'd be like, okay, stick me in the New York market. I'll make this NIL stuff and USC look like child's play. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.